I don't know. Just ask me questions.
I think you should.
All right. Good morning. Thanks again for joining us for 1 Million Cups. I'm your host, Trezzy. Today we're going to have Olivia from SnoSuite telling us a little bit about their company. We're going to skip introductions today because we have so many folks. Normally we would go around and do some quick introductions for our entrepreneurs. But I do want to give a quick thanks to our sponsors, DreamBank for the space, and Starting Block for their continued support of 1 Million Cups. We don't have any announcements. There's really not that much to say this morning, is there?
We don't have any announcements.
We don't have any announcements. All right, so I'm going to kick it straight on over to our presenter. Let's hear it for Olivia from SnoSuite.
Good morning. My name is Olivia Merrithew. I'm the CEO and co-founder of SnoSuite. We are revolutionizing the way skiers and ski areas communicate, collaborate, and connect through one universal mobile application. My son and his friend Max were skiing out west one day, and they were coming down from the chute. So Max launches off and breaks his ankle. They weren't sure what to do, so they called me for help. I called the regular resort number, they sent me over to dispatch. Dispatch sent out ski patrol, and they ski past them not once, twice, and the third time they finally got to them. Now they were cold and scared, but they were okay. But it got us thinking, why aren't location services available in the mountains? In addition, my ski racing team was hosting a race on the back bowl of the mountain. This is in North Idaho. So on Saturday, you can imagine you've got hundreds of skiers skiing down. The wind started to kick up, and they closed the lift down. So all these skiers are skiing down, unaware that they were becoming stranded at the bottom. Luckily, the wind did die down, and they were able to get out of there, but if it hadn't, they would have been evacuated 12 at a time by snowcat. So again, it got us to question, why aren't vital communications reaching skiers in a timely manner? So our problem, most of the solutions are segmented. So when you have safety concerns on the mountain, there are whiteboards at the bottom of the lift that communicate what the current announcements are. And then in addition to that, the communications can also be on a loudspeaker in the base area. Security is still done by pen and paper when items are lost or people are lost. And marketing, how do you reach that captive audience of skiers on the mountain? So our solution is to reduce liability for the mountains, have them have that access to the captive audience of skiers, and then also have an added value and savings to the mountain. So what does that really mean? Well, this universal application provides a solution to the mountains and to the skiers. Now, oftentimes at this point in the presentation, people are asking us, well, what about connectivity? What if I lose signal in the mountains? Well, we're solving that by peer-to-peer mesh technology. And what that does is you send out your call for help through the mobile application, and it pings from phone to phone to phone until it reaches a signal and can be sent out. So here are a couple screenshots of the application. Here is what we call the head wall, with vital communications at the top, navigation, and social feed. Here you can find your friends and family on the mountains. This one is at Aspen Snowmass. And this person has 3 connections that they can locate. So for safety, we have the one-button touch call for help and incident reporting. And here is the incident reporting more specifically. You can send out the message of all sorts of different issues, including hazards on the trail. On the dispatch side, dispatch and resort management can see where their assets are, where the incidents are, and ensure that they can dispatch appropriately. So you have the role so that you can identify who they are and what their skills are, their status, are they available, and are they close by. So how do we make money? The ski area, it's pretty simple. $10,000 annually and 49 cents per skier per day. But that's about getting skiers to the mountains. In the future, we'll have premium services for $7.99 a month for the skier. But that's about making the features skier-centric. We also recognize the future potential for advertising, partnerships, data collection, and analysis. Our market, we have 9.2 million active skiers in this country, 472 ski areas, and 57 million skier visits annually, for a total addressable market of 400.2 million. We also recognize expansion into Canada, which is an additional 2.5 million skiers and over 200 ski resorts. So where are we right now? What have we done? We have an MVP build in the App Store, one full season of testing for activity tracking and snow conditions reporting that are geographically verified and crowdsourced. We have 50 beta testers, and we have IP in the form of one patent, a provisional patent, and trademarks. So, who's on our team? I'm the CEO and co-founder. I have 13 years experience within the ski industry, working within administration, race administration, policy making boards, and marketing. Our COO, Greg Meredith, he actually started out grooming trails in Vermont at a ski area, making snow, and now he's a software developer as well as a team manager. We round out our team with Steve and Jared, software engineering and UI UX. So our ask today, we are hoping to raise some funds in the first quarter of 2020. We're seeking connections to ski area management, ski area owners, insurance companies that insure ski areas. We're also seeking beta testers for our launch in mid-December. So to recap, SnoSuite will offer peace of mind for the skiers. It will also attract and engage this next generation skier, as well as access this massive new data set of the ski industry. Thank you very much. Any questions?
If you have a question, just throw up your hand and I'll head your way with the microphone.
Oh, so mechanically, if we want to help beta test, what do we do? Is there a sign up on the website or what?
Yes. You go to SnoSuite.com, and on the home page, there's an area to add your email address, and we'll keep you in the loop. We're also available on all social media platforms.
You mentioned you're talking to insurance companies that would be interested in this.
We would like to,
that
yes.
insure mountains or the ski resorts.
Mm-hmm.
Do those tend to be local to the area, or they tend to be national type companies that provide that type of insurance? What have you learned about that?
From what we've learned so far, they're national. One of which is called Mountain Guard.
You mentioned the connectivity on like the peer-to-peer. I think, like you would actually tag off of other phones and say finally got to a tower.
Mm-hmm.
I've never actually heard of that, which doesn't mean anything. But the first thing that happened that occurs to me is that there's a certain level of kind of cooperation that has to happen for that to occur. And I was just wondering if you could drill down on that a little bit, explain
Sure.
how that works, and are there any security risks in making my phone available to somebody to use as a throughput?
Well, to the first part of your question, the peer-to-peer mesh technology works when other skiers or other staff are within 200 feet. So my message that if I were the person needing help, I would send out the message, call for help, and it would ping off the phones within 200 feet. Now, ideally, what that would do is it would go up the hill until it reaches the signal. Now, as far as the security, I'd love to get back to you on that. We need to do further testing and research.
I'm interested in your pricing model. So for the ski hill, you said $10,000 annually, and then 49 cents per skier. How are you tracking the per skier? Does the skier need to have your software as well, or is it per skier on their ski hill? And how would you track that? How would you know that you're getting paid?
So all 472 skiers in this country, we were able to pull up the maps, Google Maps, and draw what's called geofences around those ski areas. Now, when a skier drives up the mountain and goes over that geofence, if they have the mobile application installed on their phone, then we can tell that they've entered that geofence. We can tell, and we can also tell when they left it. So we know that they are there, and that counts as one. And then to backtrack, when you download the application, you choose your base camp, your home mountain, one you go to the most. So that is the feed that you get anytime. But let's say you're going out to Breckenridge for a ski holiday. When you enter their geofence, you no longer get the feed from your mountain, you get the feed from that mountain, and so on for all resorts across the country.
I guess my question's around kind of the skier and the premium on their side. What kind of features are you looking to, I guess, entice them to be, want to pay the $7.99 a month?
So we will be looking to expand into travel share and ride share. Many of the concerns of the mountains are parking and accessibility to the hill. So when one of your connections is heading out to Colorado, it'd be great to be able to know that they're heading out that way. How many seats do they have in their car? How much room do they have for beer? And that connection can be made and you can travel together. So that reduces environmental impact. It also reduces congestion on the roads there as well as parking lots. In addition to that, personally, there were snow days where I had to work when my kids wanted to go to the hill. In the morning, you can post that you've got 3 extra seats and you're taking the day off and you're going to be able to take up 3 more kids on that snow day so the kids can enjoy the mountains. So travel and ride share. And we also expect even more that I can't yet announce.
Just more confirming, this, you say 200 feet for the technology to work, so in terms of any out of bounds or avalanche or that type of application, it's really not on the table right now?
Yes, correct. We wouldn't be replacing what's called the beacon, and the beacon is what skiers use when they go in the backcountry and other areas that are more prone to avalanches, and that beacon makes it so that they can be found even if they're buried in the snow. So search and rescue can locate them that way. So we don't expect to replace that technology, but if they are within bounds, we can track where they are, geographically verified. One other interesting thing is, let's say your kid doesn't show up at the end of the day, and you're like, wow, where are they? Which has happened too many times to me. So unfortunately, they do the sweeps at the end of the day. If your kid still isn't found, what this app can do is it can provide the location that that person left the ski area, left the geofence, right? And so instead of hundreds of acres of search, we've narrowed it down to dozens of acres of search so that you can find that person faster.
So your app does work without internet, or do you need internet to use your app?
So to download and set up, yes, you need internet. To use most of the features, yes, you need connectivity. Oftentimes at the base of these resorts, as well as some of the towers, they offer connectivity. But when there's no signal at all, you can at least do the minimum, which is a call for help.
For your rollouts, are you planning a targeted approach on a resort basis, or are you planning to kind of blanket countrywide and just drive mass adoption?
So you're looking at partnerships with safety gear manufacturers. We have finalized a partnership with Seoul Alpine that's based here in Madison, owned by Lynn McMurray. She creates goggles, and they're actually really cool. You can replace the frames, and because they are magnetic, so you can take them off and then put on the new lens. So we are looking to continue to partner with not only manufacturers but multi-resort companies such as Aspen, would be fantastic. They have a connection to Icon as well as Altera. That would be great. But on a grassroots level, we're just going to start here, which is going to the mountains and talking to people.
So your business is very seasonal, obviously with snow in the name. But have you considered other options for other seasons? For instance, I know a number of resorts will open up their slopes for mountain biking, which I don't know if you've considered other sports other than snow sports for your app.
So many of these alpine destinations have already begun expansion into other seasons. As you mentioned, mountain biking, that's very popular. There are weddings, hiking, other activities that zip lines, alpine slides, and safety is still needed within those sports. So yes, I also spoke with the director of the National Ski Patrol, and she said that Ski Patrol has a few test mountains that they are providing services. The Ski Patrol is providing bike patrol at this point. And as that expands, we'll expand.
Olivia, can you tell us about how you got here today? I'm thinking, you were a person with children, you could explain that. I don't know what you were doing before, but how did you get prepared to start this business and then be here today explaining in your ads? Tell us what process you went through, i.e. generator or G-Data.
Sure. I think looking back, I hacked my education. I was able to piece together what's needed to start a business like this. But G-Beta has been amazing. Their advisors, their program staff have been very supportive. The mentor swarms, they bring people who have different experiences, different industries, to their accelerator program, and you're able to pitch them on a weekly basis. And that brings all sorts of experience that you can draw from. It's very helpful. We were also, very recently, as in last Friday, we were accepted into the MadWorks Accelerator. So we're really excited about that as well. You would say, well, why are you doing 2 accelerators? Well, they do different things. They give you different tools, and they build off of each other. That makes sense. So we're really excited about that as well.
We got time for 2 more questions.
The thing that I still can't, maybe I'm not making the connection or not seeing clearly, but it seems like it's really founded on the skiers downloading and installing your app. Right, because you can sell to the ski hill, it's $10,000, but you don't get any more revenue if skiers don't use your app, right? And you have a charge for a skier to use it, but the only thing they're really getting is potential safety. A lot of young kids, they're not caring about that aspect probably. Their parents might. Are you giving anything free that would entice a skier to at least try it? So that you can get that 50 cents per day charge on top of it, then have the opportunity to try to upsell them?
Sure. So we do have freemium features, and what that does is the safety will always be free. And so that safety blanket that you have kind of in your pocket, this next generation knows that you usually have your phone on you most of the time. And having that there when you need it is important. It's important to this next generation that's coming up into skiing and deciding if they're going to be lifelong skiers. They are connected with their phones and with the internet, and we're trying to create that bridge between connectivity and alpine destinations.
So Danny here had a good question. He was wondering if there are any students in the room who are also skiers who might be interested in speaking to that. What's your interest in the this kind of app or something like that? Here we go.
So I was in I don't remember the steamboat, and there was a storm and I got separated, but yeah, I didn't have a phone with me. But I think I could help people that did, so that's good. But I think if it wasn't very crowded, or if not all the people at the app, how would it function? Like, could it ping up the hill?
So in a place like UGC Breckenridge, there's Steamboat. So Steamboat has severe connectivity. Most places on the mountain we do have data. So for a mountain such as that size and that caliber, that connectivity probably wouldn't be an issue unless you were to go out of the mountains. Does that answer your question? Thank you.
Okay, so in order for like the phone to ping to another one, do you have to have the app open on your phone, or does it just ride off the signal and hopefully go back up the hill? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
So there are settings that would have to be authorized, that location sharing as well. But as far as any more than that, I have a team that works on that piece of it, so I need to learn more about it. So stay in touch, and we'd love to get you more information. Thank you.
All right, that's all the time we have for questions, so let's hear it for Olivia.
Thank you for coming today.
Olivia, are you going to be around for just a little bit after this? If folks and students or entrepreneurs want to come chat with you, business cards, so everybody feel free to pop up here and say hi to Olivia. Final notes. Thanks again to our sponsors, DreamMake for the space and Starting Block for their continued support. Also, if you do not already have it, 1 Million Cups has an app that you should definitely install, and make sure to check in for our event today. That's all we have. Thanks so much. Have a good day.